trapped in the dream of a dead god. Once, in a world not unlike our own, there was a young girl named Liora. She lived in a small village at the edge of a vast forest, where the trees grew so tall they seemed to touch the sky. The villagers whispered of strange things beyond the woods, things no living person had seen and returned to tell of. But Liora was curious, and curiosity has a way of pulling people toward the unknown. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the first stars blinked awake, Liora wandered farther into the forest than she ever had before. The air grew thick with mist, and the shadows stretched long and twisted. She thought she heard voices, soft, murmuring words that slipped between the trees like smoke. Before she could turn back, the ground beneath her feet vanished, and she fell into darkness. When Liora opened her eyes, she found herself in a place that should not have existed. The sky was a deep purple, streaked with veins of gold, and the land stretched endlessly in all directions, filled with ruins of cities too grand to have been built by human hands. The air smelled of old incense and something else, something like the scent of a long-forgotten dream. A voice echoed from nowhere and everywhere at once. "You have entered the dream of one who has slept for eons." Liora spun around, searching for the speaker, but there was no one. Only the ruins, the strange sky, and the silence. "Kiss is the dream of a dead god," the voice continued. Place where time does not move, where memories linger like ghosts. Few who come here ever leave." Liora swallowed hard. "How do I wake up?" The voice laughed, a sound like distant thunder. "You do not wake from a god's dream. The dream wakes from you." Liora did not understand, but she knew she had to find a way out. She walked through the ruins, her footsteps echoing in the hollow air. Statues of forgotten beings watched her with empty eyes. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the broken walls, pulsing like a slow heartbeat. As she wandered, she began to see shadows moving at the edge of her vision, figures that flickered in and out of existence. Some were human, others were not. They whispered to her in languages she did not know, their voices filled with sorrow. One shadow, taller than the rest, stepped forward. Its form shifted like smoke, but its eyes burned with a pale light. "You are not supposed to be here," it said. Liora took a step back. "I didn't mean to come here. I want to go home." The shadow tilted its head. "Home is a memory here. This place feeds on dreams, on the echoes of what was and what could have been. The god who dreamed this world is gone, but the dream remains, and it is hungry." Liora felt a chill crawl up her spine. "What does it want?" "It wants to remember," the shadow said. "Kit wants to live again, even if only in dreams. And for that, it needs a dreamer." Before Liora could ask what that meant, the ground trembled. The ruins groaned as if they were alive. The air grew heavy, pressing down on her like a weight. The shadow stretched its hand toward her. "Anseli, Liora ran kumtseid." The world twisted around her. Walls rose where none had been before. Staircases spiraled into the sky, and doors opened into endless voids. Behind her, the dream was changing, shifting into something darker, something aware. She did not know how long she ran. Time had no meaning here. But at last, she saw a light, a small, flickering glow in the distance. A figure stood in the light, a woman draped in robes the color of twilight. "Come," the woman said, her voice calm. "This is the only way out." Liora hesitated. "Who are you?" The woman smiled sadly. "He was once like you, a dreamer who wandered too far. But I have stayed here too long. I cannot leave." "You still can." Liora looked back. The ruins were crumbling, the sky cracking like glass. The dead god's dream was collapsing. She turned to the woman. "Come with me." "She cannot, but you must go. Before the dream takes you too." The woman pushed her toward the light, and Liora stumbled forward and woke up. She was lying on the forest floor, the morning sun filtering through the leaves above. The mist was gone. The voices were silent. Liora sat up, her heart pounding. Had it all been a dream? She looked at her hands, half expecting them to fade like smoke. But they were solid. One diseases. As she stood and walked back toward her village, she wondered if the dead god's dream still lingered somewhere, waiting for the next lost soul to wander in. And sometimes, in the quiet moments before sleep, she thought she heard the faintest whisper, "Come back." But she never did. The end.